Hello, welcome to Working with Miniatures. I'm Jim, and today we're going to be painting the Highland Heroine from Reaper Miniatures' Dark Heaven Bones line. We'll be primarily using Army Painter products, and since I've been changing oil today, why not try to oil wash it in the end? Let's get started. To help shorten this video, I have removed the zenithal priming and most of the base coat steps. The colors used for all steps can be found at the end of this video. This miniature was also varnished with Tester's dull coat prior to the first step that is being shown to prevent the reactivation of speed paint. After the first base coat for the flesh is dry, I apply a wash and allow it time to dry. Dorado skin is then re-added as a highlight to bring back some of the color to the base coat. The second highlight with cobalt skin will cover less surface area, so not to completely obscure the previous highlight. The final highlight is done with corpse pale, again covering less area than the previous step. Garnet pigment toner is thinned to a glaze to add warmth to the flesh. I pull the glaze away from the brightest highlights and into the shadows. The boots, bracers, buckle, hair tie, vestment, and blade wrap are all base coated with sand color before highlighted with fire lizard and then phoenix flames. The final highlight on these articles is with demonic yellow. As with any layer highlight, be sure not to fully conceal the previous highlights. I sketched out the lines for a plaid pattern I wanted it to have, so in retrospect I should have used a dark blue instead of black, but that's irrelevant as you'll see later that I completely destroyed this pattern anyway. I left these steps as a warning on what not to do when painting plaid. With fog gray, I apply an alternating shade of gray, and yes, I know that's not how plaid actually looks, but being my first attempt at it, I opted for the easy way out. Moving on to the frill of the coat, which was base coated in rennet gray, I apply a dry brush of Gorgon hide, followed by a lesser dry brush of matte white where the light would shine the most. The hair was base coated with Slaughter Red and then highlighted with subsequently lesser highlights of Pure Red, Mars Red, and then Lava Orange respectively. The blade was base coated with Magic Blue, which was a mistake as it was the same color as the kilt. I learned a lot from painting this blade, especially the need of glazing many layers back and forth between highlights and shadows, which I probably need to extend to my general base coating layers to achieve smoother transitions. I think the biggest problem I had with the blade was that it's not a clean sculpt, it's very wavy and uneven. The next miniature I'll be painting will be metal with a significantly cleaner mold, so I'm anxious to repeat these steps on it and then compare the two results. I then edge highlight the blade, which I also struggled with due to the poor molding, or at least I hope that was my main problem. The blade is then finished with a few glazes of Hydra turquoise in an effort to tint the blade away from the same shade as the kilt. As mentioned in the intro, I decided to play with oils on this miniature. I mixed various oil paints on a metal palette and thinned them with mineral spirits, and then mixed colors until I had significantly darker shades of what was used on the miniature. My apologies as I did not really pay attention to what I actually mixed, and I just winged it. In retrospect, I should not have washed the kilt as it ultimately obscured much of the pattern work I spent so much time on. Another thing to note, have plenty of mineral spirits to clean your brush with, have adequate ventilation, and be careful not to spill the mineral spirits. After washing all of the miniatures save for the blade and flesh, I let it dry for roughly 15 minutes or until it's dry to the touch, and then with Q-tips moistened slightly with clean mineral spirits, I begin to lightly wipe away some of the oil, leaving it in the recesses. Some of the paint on the bucklers chipped off immediately. This was due to me not giving the acrylic paint adequate time to dry before applying oil wash and then brushing at it with mineral spirits. Another lesson learned. This is the final result. I'm happy with how it came out, however I think I need to use darker colors for most of my base coats in the future to build up a better contrast to the brighter highlights. As for the use of oil paints or washing, it was significantly easier than I expected, especially being able to easily brush away the wash from the upraised areas that would reflect more light naturally. Just gonna wrap it up for today. I hope you learned something, such as oil paints not being as intimidating as they first might appear. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and if you like the content of this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm Jim with Working with Miniatures. I'm truly grateful for your time, and I bid you a fond farewell. To the next video.